super long story time. It started out with a couple days ago. When was it? Monday. Ben and I just decided to go to a local theme park. And we went, and I was like, I don't really do roller coasters very well, but I haven't done a roller coaster since I've like equalized and done all the things in my spiritual journey. So I'm going to try a roller coaster. And I was like, this one doesn't have a lot of loop-de-loops, so maybe we'll be good. Like, and I also have figured out, because I feel more, not see, that if I close my eyes, and if you close your eyes, if I close my eyes, I should be good. Right? Like, I should be good. And I had asked in the line, asked Spirit, if I was going to be sick. I definitely got yes, like, you're going to be sick. And I was like, fuck it. You know, like, I'll be able to transmute it. It'll be fine. Well, it did mess me up. But what came with it was a healing adventure that lasted a couple days. And I think we finally finished it today. So I'm going to tell you that story time. Ready? Yay! Okay. So the next day, on Tuesday, after we had already healed everything at night, like my body and stuff, to make sure that I was like good and sane and all that, and like not feeling sick anymore. On Tuesday, Ben said, "Babe, was it a spaceship?" And I was like, huh. And then I kind of went internally, and I was a passenger in the car, which was a really stupid idea to try to look at a past life connected to the spaceship. And I couldn't get all the pieces into it. I just got super fucking emotional. I know that I was behind the wheel, and I know that there was, like, we were going warp speed through fucking portals, 12,000 or so. And that the people on the spaceship with me, on my ship, died. It broke apart, like, demolished. So I contacted my friend Tara and my friend Nikki, who both hate roller coasters, and I was like, I think you guys were on the spaceship with me. And both of them could feel it immediately. They had been feeling weird anyway from all the energy of it. And because it was like sending a light bulb moment to their soul that it was time to heal, because that's just kind of how shit works sometimes. Like, when you get in a conflict with someone, like, sometimes it's stuff from past lives that are just coming to the surface to heal, and everybody involved in it is supposed to heal it as well. So think about that next time there's any, like, big collective drama going on. It's probably your soul's remembering it. Okay, on to the next part. So when I talked to Tara about this, just in text message, Tara got the feeling, like, she went in right away and she knew where she was, and it was very familiar to her, like the Armageddon movie, which I haven't seen it in a really long time, but spoiler alert, they die. There's death. And she's like, I really connect to the Steve Buscemi role. They kind of just had nothing to live for. And she's like, so kind of take that for what you will. And she goes, yeah, I was sitting behind you. And I immediately was like, Tara, you're not supposed to be sitting behind me. Like, I'm not supposed to be in front of you. I'm in your seat. Like, or you're beside me or something. Or either that or this is part of the same, we're part of the same oversoul or something, because you would not be behind me. Like, it didn't make any sense to me that she would be behind me, because we are part of the same oversoul. And sometimes we have a life where we're the same person. That's the oversoul thing. I talk a lot about that on my YouTube. I'll go into it some other time. So anyway, I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to watch Armageddon again, because that's what I do, is since I can't see, I feel through the emotions of things. When I watch a movie or a TV show, I can feel around what is correct and what is false, what applies to me and what doesn't, and I can heal around it like this. So yeah, that's what I do. But I haven't watched it yet because more came up. So then I was talking to Nikki about what Tara said. And Nikki could feel it too, but we went into healing something else a little bit more. But Nikki was definitely involved, and both of these people, hated roller coasters. Well, Ben doesn't hate roller coasters, Kate doesn't hate roller coasters, and Shaden doesn't hate roller coasters. But Ben is not a fan of flying on airplanes. Kate and Shaden are obsessed with fixing airplanes. That's like their job. And I need to tell her. I just got that part. Hold on. Hey, Kate. That's why you were obsessed with fixing aircrafts. Is to make sure that never happened again. Thanks. Yeah, she agrees. Well, Ben was on the aircraft that watched my aircraft die, so he watched me die. This kind of happened before with my ex-husband. My ex-husband was afraid of sharks because he watched a shark eat me in a past life. Well, Ben had a past life where he was on the spaceship with Kate and Shaden and some other people, but I'm not going to mention their names because I didn't talk to them directly. But they had seen me die, and that's why they are okay with roller coasters, but are not a big fan of flying because they had to watch the death. Okay, next part. Also, side note to this, gross part, but it just is what it is. I was talking to Nikki and Tara about how after that roller coaster, the smell of fried food would make me fucking sick, and it was because we fried. Like, we fried during it. Which is just a gross little, like, thing that my body did where it was like, bleh, because I was in that dimension trying to heal it. So, another thing, this is so many layers, hold on. So, Kate and Shaden, Ben and myself were out for date night last night, and Kate and I were, like, dissecting this and, like, doing the life and, like, looking at it and seeing what all was there and stuff. There is a person that I used to be really close to that I haven't been for a while now, and they were on my ship, and we were arguing on that ship of, like, we needed to go warp speed, but they wanted me to slow down, which is something they've done, like, the whole time I was, like, quote-unquote friends with them, is they were, like, wanting me to slow down. They didn't want me to give any secrets away. Like, they never wanted me to share anything on TikTok. Because, oh shit. Hey, Kate! Okay, that last part, Kate got major squinty eyes on. So, we have to look into that part further. Yay. Basically, I got in a fight with the other person that I no longer work with, but they were on the ship that I was on. And I wasn't quite paying attention to what I needed to do, and the ship broke apart. And, yeah. So, today, Kate and I worked with Sarah, and that came up. It wasn't going to come up, but it ended up coming up. And basically, this goes back to, like, Anunnaki time. And again, all of us are the same 13 oversouls. So, if you're connecting to the story, you are probably part of the oversouls that were on the ship. We're all the same people, just different, like, splits of consciousness. Like, I'm me and you're you, but we can be in the same oversoul. Sometimes we're not, and sometimes we are. So this is going all the way back to the, like, Anunnaki times of, like, leaving to go on, like, it pretty much was like going on a shopping. Like, we were just going to the store. Like, leaving the planet and going to the store kind of situation. But we needed to take 2 vehicles because we were going to bring back a lot of supplies. But since, like, everybody just wanted to go with us, we didn't need that many people to go on the fucking ship. Like, okay, next part. Kate and I worked with Sarah today. And when we worked with Sarah, we were working on something else, but this came up because that's what happens. And Sarah was on the ship that I was on, but it was like she was in the cargo bay area, and she, like, saw the flames coming, and she acted quickly and, like, shut the door. So the spaceship broke apart, and part of it, like, disintegrated, whatever, and the other part crash landed. The full ship was fine, and then the other half of it crash landed, which is, it's very much like my favorite show, Lost. So that made sense to me, and, like, how that all worked out, and why there's so many answers to everything in the show Lost. Like, so fucking many. It makes me want to cry. Yeah. And because it was just a shopping trip, because this spaceship adventure was just a shopping trip and everybody wanted to go, the first thing we needed to do was make sure that we, like, gave everybody something to do on the planet or island or home or wherever the fuck this is. Gave them something to do So everybody has a task, and then we can all, like the ones that were supposed to go on the mission to get the like supplies or whatever, could get it and come back. Well, Sarah has a clipboard. Sarah and Tara were supposed to be navigating the ship that I was driving. I got on that ship because I was the only one who could put up with the person that I ended up arguing with. I was the only one to put up with her shit. Like, it needed to be her way or nobody's way. So, she's not the bad guy in the story at all. It's just literally, I was the only one who could deal with her shit. So, I ended up going to that ship instead of the ship that I was supposed to be on, which is the one that Kate, Shaden, and Ben were on. That's why I wasn't in my seat, but I was driving. And Sarah had a clipboard because I was supposed to be the clipboard person on my ship, and she's the clipboard person on on the ship that I was on. So Sarah crossed all names off the bouncers list that shouldn't be on the ship, and we all delegated the people to like their tasks and what they needed to do. And then we still needed to take 2 ships because we were going to bring back a lot of cargo. But this time it's not going to crash. I went in my appropriate ship, and then like everybody has their regular ship now, like their appropriate seats. And we put it back in balanced divine working order so all the seats are correct too. And we no longer crash into that version of Earth, because all different planets are different versions of Earth at different times. Linear, 3-dimensional, but all time is now. That is how we're able to heal it. I also figured out after healing all of this with everybody that the ant series, the giant ants that built the pyramids, that series that I just uploaded to YouTube today, or yesterday rather, the reason of the fucking asking the ant people to build the pyramids was because it was like a radio signal, because we had crashed fucking landed on that version, that planet, that version of Earth. And we were trying to get radio signals back for someone to come pick us up. And then this ties in because Enlil and Inky were on the other spaceship. And I'm part of the Michael, or the Azrael is another part of that Oversoul. And I died. And then the whole Inky and Enlil story is there and happens. So, yeah. But we healed it, we rewrote it, and I don't think we ever go back. Like, instead of picking up supplies, we just end up staying here. So I literally don't know. Like, I still feel not 100% in my body. And as I'm telling the story, I have to take a couple of breaks, which is not like me. So there's still stuff that needs to be healed in this. If you're getting anything from the story, if you feel connected to it, go ahead and write it in the comments, and maybe we can, like, finish this project together. And if there's any bonus things, I'll add it to the end of this when I add this story to YouTube, but I'm not going to add it to YouTube right away. But yeah, so we rippled everything forward and aligned it all with the most healed timeline and all that stuff. So if you feel connected to this, or you have any insight, or you want to add more to it, just let me know. Okay, bye. Actually, before I go, try this. Say, Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please show me what else I can heal about this situation. And it should take you right there. Either you'll see it or you'll feel it. And I have more steps for that in my link tree on how to heal inner child stuff. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, guys, Ice is back with a brand new invention. No, it's just me. Follow up to the rest of the healing. I finally feel clear and good. Connected to the series that I posted earlier today about before the Anunnaki came. So, we were trying to figure out, like, what the fuck were we... What were we trying to get? Like, why were we going to the store? What supplies were we fucking trying to get? Like, why did we, what is this? Why did we need all of this? So that was one of the first questions. The second question is, like, why did these people come back, like, the Anunnaki thing? So we know that the Inky and Enlil thing happened, right? And Enlil, which is biblical God, takes the fucking ship and just fucking leaves. And leaves Inky and the rest of the people on the other ship here, right? We fucking know all this. So we needed to go back before the ship left, figure out what the fuck we were going to get, I figure all this out. Okay. So, a key thing in this story is that my 3-year-old Casey Ray was not on any of the ships. Casey Ray is part of the Oversoul that is part of Ra. And Ra was locked up in the sun for hundreds of thousands of millions of years. Okay. Also, the sun, our sun, is a portal. It is a portal. And that, like, these past couple of years, while the portal has looked different, the suns look different, that's because in 2018, we unlocked Ra. That Oversoul. Everybody in that Oversoul is 3 to 4 years old. All the rest of us that are part of the other, Oversouls, we're all different ages. Because, long story. So all of the Ra's, which I'm going to call Casey Ray from this point, just because that's the one I have. And there's like tons of them out there. Tons of that Oversoul. Like tons. Okay, so Casey Ray was not on the ship. Casey Ray was also afraid of our robot, our Roomba. And we couldn't figure out why the fuck she was afraid of the Roomba. So while I was text messaging, God dang it, I'm going everywhere with this story. I need to make it make sense. Okay, let me start with the first part. Hold on. Next story. Hey, so as we're trying to figure out the ins and outs of everything that's happening in the whys and the whos and the hows and the what and all that Nancy Drew kind of shit. I'm texting with Tara and Sarah and Nikki and Kate. These are my primary texting people, and trying to figure all of this out. So the thing that came to me was this is the Transformer Decepticons. And then the I don't know if you guys have seen the Transformer movies, but they go searching for the cube that creates life. Okay. And the Transformers come to the Earth, and then the Decepticons come and like, they're trying to get the cube also. But they're like, they fight the Transformers, right? So that's like fallen angels and like archangels kind of shit, but also not like, it's all the same. Aliens, angels, they're all the same. Everything's happening at once. We're all 13 oversouls. It's just different fragments of us. That's a long ass story, and I have so much stuff on that. Okay. So anyway. So then, Nikki, like I sent the Transformer movie YouTube clips of the cube, and then of the Archibald Wickwiki, like, the humans that go and find the cube in Antarctica, for fuck's sakes. Okay, so that's connected. So I send them this, and then I'm like, wait a second. I know this sounds fucking psychotic, but the cube, it's like, it's connected. And I know that, okay, so we had to piece it together. Casey Ray and the rest of her Oversoul were locked in the sun. The person on my ship that like wanted us to slow down and didn't like, and insisted on going on the trip or whatever, she was the one that asked the cube, that's in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy also, the cube that answers the questions. Well, there was a mini one, and the mini one is Casey Ray or Ra. So asked this cube a question, and the cube didn't give her the right answer. She kicked it out, and it like started heading through the portals towards Earth. Okay. Next. Again, not a bad guy. Just asked a question. Trauma. Didn't like the answer. Kicked it out. So we were like, we've got to go get this cube. We've got to go get Casey Ray. We've got to go get this cube. We've got to go get Ra. So we all take off. That's what the ship thing was about. To go find that. To go find the cube. To go find Ra. To go find Casey Ray. All the same thing. Okay? And that Oversoul. Well, while we're hurling towards the Earth in the 2 different spaceships or whatever, then we've healed all that or whatever. So we're on the planet. That cube is still flying through the portals. And the fight with Enlil and Inky happen. So Enlil takes the spaceship and goes back through the portal and closes the portal to seal up Earth with all of the rest of those people still on Earth. Seals it up. And when they do, it's right when they go this way through the portal, Casey Ray's cube goes into the portal at the same time and seals it up, and Ra gets stuck in the sun. That's how Ra gets stuck in the sun. Okay? The sun god. That's where they get stuck. So we had to go back. Oh, and then, like, the Decepticon thing. What happened? Well, when Enlil got back, he told everybody that, you know, some shit went down, like lies, just a bunch of lies. Some shit went down. They were the bad guys, blah, 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 blah. And so all the Decepticons were like, nah, you're the bad guys, blah, 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 blah. Like that whole fight started. So we needed to fucking fix all of that. Because the Anunnaki and the Transformers are the same fucking thing, guys. I'm just letting you know. It is what it is. Like all the, like, it's all channeled messages. It's all the information's out there. And also, if you know the scene from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with the two, like, kids dressed in white, that is, Enlil and the biblical god wife, the two of them, like, asking the cube a question, and then they had a little cube that they asked a question, they didn't like the answer, and they kicked it out. So anyway, so we went back, and we just put, like, shielding and guardians and ecosuit and exosuit and divine bouncers and cross all names off the bouncers list that shouldn't have access to the little computer, which is Ra. And now it never gets kicked out. And then the ship doesn't have to go searching for Ra. And then we did it to flip it and reverse it to the other side, the opposite, and then we healed the residual and then rippled it forward. So yeah, that's it. Okay.